For example, this week, Google announced it is bringing music features to its Google Glasses. The $1,500 wearable device will play songs by voice command. Joining me now to discuss the rapid evolution of digital music is Ryan Ains. He is the co-founder and the managing director of Edge Collective. Edge Collective is an ad agency that helps companies reach customers using music and social media. Good to have you with us, Ryan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
When I think about music and brand building and pumping music out, I gotta say, it reminds me of Muzak. Remember Muzak?
Mm-hmm. I do.
What has the sort of human interaction between music and brands, how has that changed over the years?
Everything has changed, and the reason why everything has changed is because of streaming music, right? And the power of streaming music has made it much easier for brands to reach consumers across multiple different platforms. And I think that what we have to think of before we get into all the how streaming music works, the different distribution channels and so forth, we have to take a step back and look at why this is interesting. And when you think about why streaming music is interesting and what makes it so valuable, you have to look at the fact that what it does. And what it does is it opens the landscape within the music market space, right? It frees it, which this means is more opportunities, more distribution channels for music to reach customers, lower barriers to entry when it comes to bands, new and existing, that want their music to be heard by those consumers, which also means new revenue streams that can be created based on those bridges that are being built. And so for that reason, streaming music is becoming more and more relevant and more of a conversation that should be had, especially within the business sector, and something to take notice of.
Now, does this streaming music necessarily entail the customer, the listener, deciding what music they want in advance, or maybe even giving a hint and then having some algorithm or some computer determine what you're going to listen to the rest of the day?
Absolutely. Well, there's two ways that it can work, and that's what you're talking about right now is advertising, and that's what we do, right? And so a consumer can actually use any of these platforms to choose what type of music that they want.
Right, whether it's Pandora or Spotify.
Exactly. But from an advertising perspective, what we can do is we can target certain consumers based on the type of music they're listening to and tie our brand into that consumer. That's the basics, but there's other stuff that you can do as well. You can use the music from a content perspective, and this is kind of new, and you hear a lot about it. How are brands using content to reach consumers? Music is content, and so you can create different sorts of playlists and so forth to leverage that type of music and say, hey, listen, I listen to this too. I know you listen to this. Can we have, a conversation, start a party? And while it might seem kind of like, well, does that actually work? You can look at brands like Red Bull and others who have been very, very successful at this in terms of using this type of music from a content perspective to reach their consumers.
Well, that would make sense, right? I mean, for example, if you put a group of people together and they all go to a concert, it ends up being a self-selecting group because you think that they would actually like the music that's being played there,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
What about using Google Glass? Because this is a very personal device, and the idea being that now you're going to be able to talk to the computer, the glasses that has the little microchip, and it's going to play music for you?
Absolutely.
How is this going to change things?
So this is huge, and before we get so much into Google Glass and all the features, we got to take a little bit of a step back and look at where this came from. And this starts with Google, All Music Access, right? Same price point as Spotify, a little bit less than Pandora, but nothing really stuck out about it and made it that relevant. However, introduced Google Glass, right? The most technologically advanced innovation since the iPhone. And now this is out there, and at least initially is going to be streaming exclusively Google All Music Access. This is a very big win for Google when it comes to having consumers listen to music off their platform, and could potentially, if not down the line, initially be a big hit for Apple, potentially iTunes.
Does this also mean that you're going to be able to share this kind of playlist or favorite music with people that are just geographically close to you?
Absolutely, and that's what makes streaming music so great from a consumer perspective. You can create your own playlist, you can share them, it's customized for you. But that also makes it good for the advertiser as well, because we have now different, based on how much they're customizing it, we can customize our advertising to reach them and potentially sell them what we need to sell them.
What would be on Ryan Ains' top 5 playlist?
That's a great question. I actually take a lot of pride in my music, but you'll hear me listen to anything from Justin Bieber. No, I'm just joking. Nothing wrong with Justin Bieber, but I listen to everything from old mixes of college to everything from DJs, so forth. But yeah, I've got a pretty wide selection of music.
And you could share your playlist. People can.
I share my playlist. Actually, my friends follow me on Spotify. And
how do they follow you? How do they look for?
Well, I can create my own playlist on Spotify. I can share the music.
No, but how would they do it if someone's listening or seeing you right now? How would they follow you?
Oh, how they follow you? Oh, well, so what I'd have to do is I could tweet out what I'm listening to. I could somehow share it via mobile, and that's the way that they could.
Or they could follow you on Twitter at Ryan Ains.
Or they could follow me on Twitter at Ryan Ains.
See, that's where we're going.
Yes.
All right. Thanks
Thank you.
very much.
Absolutely.
Ryan Ains, the managing director of the Edge Collective. All right, from music, we turn our attention to art. Francis